My name is Shuvaloy Majumdar. I'm the federal candidate for the Conservative Party of Canada here in Calgary Heritage. I've had the privilege to work with Stephen Harper, the former Prime Minister, for the last 12 years. We've been in business together in energy, investment, and technology in the last 7 years. And prior to that, this kid from Midnapore had a chance to serve him and his government as his foreign policy advisor. So it's a real honor for me to stand as a candidate now here in this beautiful part of Calgary to be their next Conservative Member of Parliament. The biggest problems that Canadians are facing are costs of living. Everything we've seen through inflationary policies of Justin Trudeau has driven the cost of everything up. We see that interest rates are going higher, carbon taxes are being imposed. It's making life completely unbearable for so many people who live in Calgary Heritage. That's number one issue. Number two issue, Calgary is an energy producing capital for Canada. And it's not just our traditional energy, it's also our energy ingenuity in new technologies that can make a huge difference. Canadian energy can secure, supply, and stabilize the world. We see the intimidation of what certain countries are doing in places like Europe. We see the intimidation of certain countries across Asia. Canadian energy can be a solution to all of those things as a stable partner. So that's the second thing I'd say. And then the third thing is, across the country, we've seen over the last 8 years, we've seen Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party attack every institution that's made this country so great in over 150 years of our democratic life. We've seen him attack our democracy. We've seen him attack our commercial sector with fantasy science rather than real science. We've seen him attack our academy by promoting people who have views that are genuinely rooted in hatred rather than embracing the diversity of this country. This woke nonsense needs to be replaced with common sense. And the people of Calgary Heritage are telling me that these are the three big things that they want to see addressed at the federal level. Listen, Justin Trudeau just last week proposed his Just Transition Plan. This Just Transition Plan reminds Calgarians of what his father tried to do in the 80s with the National Energy Plan. It was a hostile assault on the energy workers of this great city, this great province, that completely took capital away from this place and crushed the economy here. They're really concerned that Justin Trudeau's energy ideology is getting in the way of things that would actually make the world greener and our country more prosperous. So chiefly, I'd say Calgary really cares about its place in the country as a stable supplier of energy. If only the federal government would get out of the way and let him do it. I was born in Midnapore in 1980, so that's a long time ago. Calgary was barely over 500,000 people. Today, we're over 1.5 million people. It's a massive change across the country. Every year that you see this country evolve, a whole new neighborhood comes in the city, and it's an amazing thing. We have a whole bunch of newcomers coming from around the world that populate this city with energy and diversity, and it's a wonderful thing. It's one of the greatest cities in the country. It's the greatest city in the country by far. What that means to me is that this is a city that has always made its own way. It doesn't care who you are, what your name is, where you came from. It doesn't care about your religion, gender, creed. What people care about in this city is, what do you have to produce? What do you have to offer? And does that have meaning to our country and our society? I've been a principal beneficiary of that. My father came here to work oil. My mom taught. I've been able to do amazing things as a Calgarian, and to grow as a Calgarian over the last 43 years has been a remarkable thing. It's a city that's poised to take the world by storm. It needs a partner in Ottawa that lets that happen, and I hope to be the voice here that helps unlock that potential. The most important thing we can do is elect Pierre Poilievre as Prime Minister of Canada. We can do that because we need to find a way to have backbone and resolve against the ideologies that Ottawa and Toronto are imposing across all Canada. What we need to do is replace woke nonsense with actual common sense that builds the freest, most successful country in the world. That is the objective. And if I can play a role in helping Pierre Poilievre win the next election as a Conservative Prime Minister, then govern with strength and take on the staggering issues of our age, then that'll be a contribution I think we can be proud of as Calgarians and as Canadians, is making Canada the freest, most safest, most successful country in the world. I had a chance in government to watch Stephen Harper govern. I was an advisor to him in foreign affairs in a time in which the world was encountering great disruptions. I saw what adult, serious leadership looked like. I saw what it meant to have strength when you're trying to impose the direction of an elected government on a reluctant bureaucracy or on a reluctant media or on a reluctant opposition, just to get things done for the people of Canada. So I think that's one skill set that I have to draw from. The second is I've spent a few years working in Iraq and Afghanistan, almost 5 years, helping people who believe in democracy secure their freedom from tyrants. And I know the kind of grit it takes, the strength of character it takes to fight for freedom in your own country. And so in common cause, to try and accomplish that for Canada so that we can be helpful to others around the world as well, I know what that resolve means, and it means a lot to me to bring that to bear, hopefully as a Member of Parliament for Calgary Heritage. This place shaped me. So I was a boy in Midnapore. I learned to bike in Fish Creek Park, swim in Canyon Meadows. I played hockey really badly in Okotoks. I finished my high school in Sir Winston Churchill in the northwest of the city. I went to university here, where I started working for the Reform Party and for Preston Manning in my early 20s. Everything that I am is formed from my experience of being a Calgarian. This city is what gave me my sense of independent, critical thinking, the constructive attitude of how the West can contribute to a thriving Canada, the ideas of freedom and security that are the ones that underpin our country are ones that I think are relatable around the world. For me to have a chance to serve this community, coming from it, having been of it, and helping the next generation move forward is a great honor of mine.